Happily Adventures After. I'm London, and I'm here to host you for this week's edition of Hey Disney, Give Me a Review on Summer House on the Lake at Disney Springs. We are thrilled to have you join us for this week's edition of Hey Disney, Give Me a Review. For those of you who are new here or maybe just don't know and you've stumbled on this, Hey Disney, Give Me a Review is Happily Adventures After podcast where we act as a virtual concierge for all things Disney. We are inspired by the Hey Disney feature on the Amazon Alexa at Walt Disney World, and we're here to help sprinkle a little bit of Disney magic into your Walt Disney World planning, learning, listening, whatever it is. Whether you're gearing up for a trip to Walt Disney World, and hopefully we'll branch out to things like Disneyland, Disney Cruise, Adventures by Disney. Maybe you're looking to uncover some of the best dining experiences, hotel reviews, or various attractions, anything like that within Walt Disney World property and outside of property of Walt Disney World, but in the area. We're here with Hey Disney, Give Me a Review from Happily Adventures After to cover honest and real reviews, as well as insider tips of anything we have experienced. Today, we are going to take that Hey Disney, Give Me a Review from our experience, the Happily Adventures After experience, to the restaurant, the table service restaurant, Summer House on the Lake in Disney Springs. As a spoiler alert, we were really excited for this highly anticipated and very hard to get dining experience. However, sadly, it didn't go as planned. So with that, let us dive into our details on this Hey Disney, Give Me a Review. Let's set the stage. What did we do in our day before we hit up Summer House on the Lake at Disney Springs? Well, we actually spent a relaxing day at Reunion Resort and Golf Club. So we like to stay off Disney World property at a villa here at Reunion Resort and Golf Club. And it's one of our favorite places, if not our favorite place to stay while traveling to Walt Disney World. Just because you get different amenities, you get more space for the same price, a little bit less honestly than Walt Disney World. Yes, there's things like transportation, but hey, let's get into that. But we had a really good relaxing day at Reunion Resort, and we had a Disney Springs evening. So we spent a day away from the park, and we were going to go to Disney Springs for the evening for dinner and shopping. We do this quite frequently. And we were really excited since it opened to check out Summer House on the Lake. It was very hard to get a dining reservation through My Disney Experience, at least for me, 60 days in advance, all the way to the day of. I kept checking back for different times. So I actually moved over to Open Table and was able to get a dining reservation for my family and I for 5:10 p.m. So as an insider tip, Open Table allows you to book some Walt Disney World restaurants on theirs, and they're usually at Disney Springs because these are not fully owned by Walt Disney World, so they partner with Open Table. There's quite a few actually at Disney Springs that do this. Total side note, but letting you know, if you can't find something on the My Disney Experience app or on the Walt Disney World website, move over to Open Table. You never know what you can find. So we have that 5:10 reservation for Summer House on the Lake booked through Open Table. Once we got ourselves to Disney Springs, we did it with ample time. I think we got there around 4:30. We parked in the parking garage, just kind of explored, and walked over at about 5 till 5, let's call it, and said to the hostess that we were here. They checked us in. However, we waited about 35 minutes for a reservation. Additionally, we started waiting outside, but it was summer. We know this, it's Orlando. There was a downpour. So everybody moved inside and it was quite crowded. So there was very limited seating. It filled up the inside waiting area as well as the cookie bar. Despite the weather, we were really looking forward to this meal despite it being really crowded and getting really warm. We'd heard really wonderful things about this restaurant and looked forward to trying it. We also looked forward to trying all the treats in the cookie bar at Summer House on the Lake, which is a separate kind of entrance for the quick service cookie and treat bar that they have there. And you can pick all of these treats up without a dining reservation. And again, we had heard really great things about this, so we wanted to check this out. And we used that 35 minutes that we waited for our reservation to do that. So we went over to the cookie bar, we took a look, see what we wanted. We did pick up some treats. I will get into those after because we didn't eat them till later, but we did pick up some treats from the cookie bar. There were also things they had, I think they had Yeti tumblers with Summer House on the Lake written on them. They had t-shirts, they had other things like that. And then there is, I believe, a full alcoholic bar attached to the cookie bar if that's something that you are interested. After we waited the 35 minutes, we then were seated at a beautiful table overlooking Lake Buena Vista in the back. So they do, I believe, have outdoor seating. It was kind of hard to see, but we basically were seated right in not a booth, but a table right at the back, and we could see views of Lake Buena Vista, as well as other areas of like that food truck area of Disney Springs. It was really picturesque and would be beautiful on a sunny day. We just got a full torrential downpour storm, but it was really cool to see. We could see lightning and you could see it all light up the sky while we were having our meal. It was really, really cool. The inside of the restaurant is absolutely beautiful. The atmosphere is very calm and chic. It's very laid back, perfect for a nice way to end your day or kind of like have a relaxing Sunday brunch. It was really well done, and like I said, it was a great atmosphere, really picturesque, and it set us up to have high hopes for our food here. With those high hopes, we were then greeted by our server, and he provided us our menus and took our drink orders. So I'm going to just let you know what we purchased for our meal, and we went all out for this. So for the table, we got the appetizer of truffle fries, which cost $15.95 US dollars pre-tax. We got a Costa Mesa salad for $18.95 US. We got a Buena Vista Cobb salad for $20.95 US. Then for our meal, we got the grilled tequila lime chicken tacos for $20.95 US. We got the rigatoni alla vodka for $21.95 US. And they were very kind because one of the people that were with us just wasn't feeling anything on the menu. And even though we were all adults, they just wanted breakfast for dinner. So they brought us the kids' meal of Mason's breakfast for dinner, which are silver dollar pancakes, maple syrup, and you can get bacon and sausage. You can also add blueberries and chocolate chips, things like that. So they were very, very kind, made that accommodation at a table service restaurant, which is pretty rare. You normally have to order off the adult menu, but they provided us this, and the cost was $9.95 US. So we also got dessert. We purchased the gooey lemon cake for $13.95 US. And then while we were at the cookie bar, we picked up the brown butter Rice Krispie treat for $4.95 US and a brownie for $4.95 US. Also, to accompany our meal, we got some lemonades, which are approximately $4, and a Shirley Temple, which was also approximately $4. Now, final totals for this meal. We have an annual pass for Walt Disney World, so you do get a 10% discount. So our cost before any discounts was $143.85 US. Adding the 7% sales tax that you have at Walt Disney World was $153.92 US. Taking off that 10% discount, I brought it down to $138.53 US. And because I am Canadian, I always like to share the Canadian exchange for anybody who's looking. And we're using a 1.41 Canadian exchange rate to every $1 US. And in total Canadian for this meal, it costs $195.33 Canadian. That near $200 Canadian price tag, or near, if you didn't have any discounts, with tax, nearly $155 US. I'm here to tell you a little bit about that because that price tag is huge. So, firstly, with that final cost, did we think this meal was worth it? Well, let's get into not only the food itself, but all the attributes, including service and pros and cons of the restaurant that we think went into the meal and the cost. First, let's touch on service. The one thing I do want to highlight is the excellent customer service we experienced. Our customer service started, even though there was a 35-ish minute wait for our table, all the staff was very kind, very polite, very attentive, and was willing to go out of their way to assist us. Our server was incredible. He constantly brought us back either refills on our drink. We had a problem, we needed extra napkins. They brought ketchup or anything like that. Yes, we had aioli, but somebody wanted ketchup for the fries, like little things like that. always anticipated what we needed, and was always kind. Like I said, quick to refill our drinks, brought us extra cutlery when we needed it. We had like a whole spill situation. All of that being said, service was excellent. Our server was also very personable, very knowledgeable about the menu. Also said to us, hey, it's storming. You can take as long as you need to. We understand, to get yourself situated before you step outside. It was really wonderful. We couldn't have asked for better service. The kitchen team worked very quickly despite the rain rush, because everybody goes inside, especially at dinner time. They go for a restaurant, and it's usually when it's ever closes. So because it was raining, you didn't feel like you were being rushed. They were very sweet about it. Our meal flowed very seamlessly. We didn't have to wait long before different courses came out. The restaurant was very well maintained. It wasn't wet, wasn't slippery. Overall, the service was phenomenal, and that itself was very redeeming for this meal. But jumping into a discussion on the meal itself, as I said before, we were particularly excited to try Summer House on the Lake. We had heard excellent reviews of this. While the food presentation was really beautiful on each of the various dishes, the meal itself was just okay. The truffle fries that we started off were really good, not great. I've had better truffle fries, or fries in general. The salad was fresh. Each of the salads we got were fresh. Nothing out of the ordinary, and nothing truly, I know it is Walt Disney World, so Walt Disney World is expensive, but nothing to warrant that price tag. It was a little bit fresher, but I could have gone to Publix or Target and picked up a salad very similar to it that was packaged that would be less than half, or more than half the cost. Sorry, not less. Doing that, nothing truly stood out. Our entrees, however, were the standard of this meal, and they provided that jump with the service and the ratings, because truly they were the best part of the meal. The pasta was absolutely great. Really, really, really tasty. I tried a little bit of everybody's food. Like, we all kind of shared each other's food. The pasta was really well done. The sauce was creamy, had a little bit of a kick to it, but it was really well. They did a wonderful job. The pancakes I tried, they were really tasty pancakes. They were very buttery, light and fluffy. I didn't eat any of the bacon and sausage, but those of us at the table who did said it was really wonderful. Really enjoyed it. Again, really great. And the tacos, that was my main meal. The tacos, the tequila lime chicken, phenomenal. The crunchy slaw, I'm not a fan of like coleslaw or anything, but it elevated this meal, as well as the salsa verde. And I'm not a guacamole person, so I asked for that on the side. I did taste it just to taste it, and it elevated the tacos. And I got extra cheese because why not? Cheese is great. But overall, the actual entrees were phenomenal, and we would highly recommend these over and over. The appetizers, like I said, the salads, not as much, and the same goes for the desserts. We wouldn't really recommend the dessert, especially the gooey lemon cake. Now, our server did warn us that it was huge and you would need more than one person to finish it. Our dining party was truly enough to sustain the gooey lemon cake, and we couldn't finish it all. It was that thick, that rich. However, and I'm not a huge person who really enjoys very sweet things, it was too sweet after that. The meal was very good, but it was heavy. It was light, but it was heavy. Does that make sense? It wasn't great after our meal. The Rice Krispie treats, truly I'm not tooting my own horn. I make great Rice Krispie treats at home. I make a better one than this, as well as that brownie. I make a much better brownie. I'm a very good baker, but I didn't warrant that price tag. They're huge, but they weren't anything out of the ordinary. They just tasted like licking sugar, truly. And it wasn't great. So overall, the food was good. The entrees were the best. Wasn't great. Now, they may be your thing if you like super sweet treats. That's where you're going there. Maybe you don't actually like the entrees, but this is, again, just our experience. However, our dining experience did take a turn in the end. Unfortunately, we took a turn for the worse once we concluded our time here. We were finished up our meal, we had our desserts, then we took the rest to go, and to note, we didn't eat any of these after. we actually went and got other desserts because we didn't like them that much. So that's a side note and just kind of telling you kind of where we were at. But almost after leaving, everybody in our party felt unwell and ended up getting to the level of food poisoning sick from it. We hadn't eaten any of the other desserts we had purchased because we ended up getting sick actually just then, and then we ended up getting other treats, bringing them back, so on and so forth. But we were unwell to the point of food poisoning, and this put a really big damper on our experience. Given the suddenness of the food poisoning, it is not hard to connect that feeling of food poisoning, and it does, like I said, dampen the experience. We don't know if somebody was ill, something was just off that night. It's okay, life happens, and I don't fault anybody at the restaurant for that. But we just hope to try it again and hope to have a better experience in it and doesn't have the same ending. And the food may not have agreed with our tummies, and that is totally okay. However, I just wanted to give you our experience so that you know if you are looking at Summer House on the Lake. While we did enjoy our meal and truly appreciated the ambiance, I don't know if it was worth that near $200 Canadian with the exchange rate, or if you didn't have any annual pass discounts or any DVC discounts. With tax, you're pushing, if you got a meal similar to ours, $155 US. I don't think it was worth it. My family and I hope to like it, and my travel party and I really did, especially hearing the great reviews of all the treats and the food and how this was just the ultimate restaurant, but we truly did not think it was worth the investment. We could make food like this at home for less, and it would probably not make our tummies upset. It just didn't live up to our expectations or justify the cost. Like I said, being ill immediately after also put a damper on it. But we do hope to have a better experience and hope that going back, we can try it and hope to really like it. I don't think we'll ever like the cookie shop just because those treats are so sweet and I am not a sweet person. But that's okay. Like that, I know that about me, so that's okay. I just can't say it's justifiable for the cost. Based on our experience, I want to give you the pros and cons of Summer House on the Lake so you can help make an informed decision. So our pros here at Happily Adventures After are it's a great location. Being situated in Disney Springs, Summer House on the Lake is literally on the lake, and it offers a picturesque view of Lake Buena Vista. You also see some of the food trucks out a different window, and it is a really wonderful dining atmosphere, as well as the interior is lovely. Because of that, it has our second pro, which is the charming ambiance. The restaurant is lovely. It's very relaxed. It's very California. It's taken off of being in California. It's very California, so if that's something you enjoy, definitely check this out. And it's a really great place to unwind after a busy day. So let's say you headed to the park and you wanted to relax brunch. This is a great place to go. I've heard good things again about the brunch. Or if you wanted to have a nice dinner here and then go out on a beautiful night, it's wonderful. For the ambiance, highly suggested there. Their customer service is excellent and the staff is very attentive and friendly, and they want to make sure that you are having the best meal no matter what's going on. Another pro is it has a wide variety on the menu. So it has a range of salads, tacos, pastas, even for breakfast, they can bring that out, breakfast for dinner, whatever it is, those are things we got. So they have a wide variety and hopefully will appeal to any person who is eating in your party. Now, for those people who enjoyed it, they have a wide range of desserts. So their cakes are huge, their cookies are huge, their Rice Krispie treats are huge, and for that, you get a lot for that price. I just am not a super sugary person. And so the positive there is you get a great number of desserts and a wide range for having that with your meal. Now our cons, it can be hit or miss if you're going at dinner time in terms of seating, just because, for instance, there was a significant wait. We understand that the weather brought everybody in and kept everybody in. But if you're running to go do something, let's say you're eating there before a Cirque du Soleil show or a movie, both at Disney Springs, you could be late if you had to have that experience. Now, we had an underwhelming food experience with quality because many dishes didn't meet our expectations, and we had really high expectations after hearing wonderful things. So we were not overly satisfied with our meal, which means a con. We experienced post-meal illness. You know what? Again, it could be a day. It could have not agreed with our tummies. Life happens. So it just kind of does raise a flag there just to make you aware. It is very crowded. I want to point out it's a beautiful restaurant, but the tables are very close together, and I could hear people's conversations, and it was around, like I said, 5:30, 5:40. I could hear people's conversations to a T. They're that close. We also were, like I said, we're seated at the back at a little corner. We were right by the bar. It was pretty close, but it was still a really nice place to sit, but it was pretty close, so just be aware. And I find another con is that it's inconsistent. I've heard nothing but excellent reviews of this place, so I'm hoping our experience was a one-off, but our experience wasn't excellent. So the consistency kind of is like, oh, are you great? Or is everybody just saying it based on our experience? And I would look forward to hearing other reviews just to see where that sits and what the majority says. But overall, with that pros and cons list, I hope it helps you determine if Summer House on the Lake, based on our review and maybe others you've heard, is right for you and your family. Our overall experience between the setting and the service at Summer House on the Lake at Disney Springs was genuinely lovely and created a delightful atmosphere for all to enjoy during our visit. The restaurant's decor, like I said, was wonderful, and it's an ideal spot for relaxing, especially when you want to step away from Walt Disney World and the hustle and bustle. It's very friendly, it's very accommodating, and the staff are wonderful. However, it can, if you are like me and had high hopes for this from the glowing reviews from online, from trusted sources, from even friends that actually went there, it really did fall short. And I hope you don't have that experience moving forward. Again, I think our experience was a one-off, and look forward to going back. But again, if you are kind of in the market, be aware of that. So based on all of these, what rating out of 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best, what rating would we give this? We'd give it a 2.75 out of 5, which it's better than half, but it doesn't quite meet that 60% threshold. We generally appreciate the restaurant's inviting atmosphere and really great service. However, the quality of food and the illness that came after and the inconsistency with food, where the appetizers and salad were okay, meals were good, dessert for us wasn't what we were looking for. It was very all over the map. This score reflects a mix of the enjoyment of the setting, how beautiful it was, the attentiveness of the staff, but again, the food itself brought the score down, and it in reality didn't live up to the high expectations we had and made the rest of our night not the best. Despite our reservations being on open table at 5:10, we also had to wait, and I understand inclement weather. I understand it keeps people in, but we had to wait about 30-35 minutes. So again, that kind of sets into it because we did have little things we wanted to do after, and it set us back. Again, I know weather, all of that, but again, that's encompassed in our rating. We truly do hope to give Summer House on the Lake at Disney Springs another chance, either for brunch or dinner. And we recognize that every day can be an off day, for instance, and it's possible our experience was just unfortunate circumstance and unfortunate coincidence. However, this memory does make us apprehensive of going back again. It's a difficult position to be in because I really did want to love this restaurant, as did a lot of people in my travel party, and actually hope to make it, from what we had heard, a regular stop during our visits to Disney Springs, but we're still gonna wait on that. We're gonna wait, but we do hope to go back and enjoy an actual meal without complications and enjoy consistency, and hopefully it's good across the board. But with all that being said, our 2.75 out of 5 rating is given to Summer House on the Lake for our experience on Hey Disney, Give Me a Review for Summer House on the Lake. Now that you know how we felt about our experience at Summer House on the Lake at Disney Springs and how the happily adventures after Hey Disney, Give Me a Review kind of played out, what are your thoughts? Have you been to Summer House on the Lake? Did you enjoy it? Did you have brunch? Did you have dinner? Did you try the cookie bar? Did you try the actual bar? What did you have when you were there? What were your experiences like? Let us know. Have you been a couple times and you found it inconsistent with the food quality? I don't know. Let me know. We'd love to hear from you because it really does bring a great light to the community. Now, don't forget to check out our corresponding blog post. So on happily-adventuresafter.com, link is in our bio. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel where you'll find all of our podcasts, both Hey Disney, Give Me a Review, as well as Hey Disney Top 10, where we count down the top 10s at Disney and, well, Disney World, Disneyland, whatever it is, both on and off property that we've experienced. And again, follow us on Instagram at happily-adventuresafter. With all that to say, we look forward to hearing from you soon and you being a part of the community. Please stay tuned for more updates, tips, and behind-the-scenes look at all things Disney, both here on our podcast, Hey Disney, Give Me a Review, and Hey Disney Top 10, as well as our website on Happily Adventures After. It's been a wonderful time talking to you about Summer House on the Lake, and I hope you have a blessed and amazing day. Bye!